your Green Bay Packers, and more specifically, that bad man that is Aaron Rodgers, will find themselves and himself wrong place, wrong time tonight at Century Link. I think by the end of tonight's game, Aaron Rodgers will feel like he's just pretty bad. And as you know, and I'm about to remind you, for visiting teams, no matter how good they might be, and I think Green Bay's pretty good, night games in Seattle can be nightmares. See last year, San Francisco and New Orleans on night games during the regular season. See San Francisco 2 years ago, 42-13 at Seattle that they lost. I've said all preseason, I don't think Seattle's defense will be quite as dominating without a Chris Clemons on one end and Rhett Bryant on the other end in their veteran leadership.
That's right.
But I still think it's going to be the best defense in the National Football League. And especially with Earl Thomas, who is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year, roaming in that secondary, making plays all over the field. And what did you tell me happened to you at the ESPYs?
Oh, yeah. They rolled up on
the Legion come up behind you?
The Legion.
Yeah.
When Cam Chancellor up, did he put a little forearm up to your head and say, I'm here?
No, he likes me.
No, he likes it.
There's no reason for
now.
him to be that way with me. He's gonna always like, man, I ain't got nothing to say about Cam Chancellor.
Cam, you're great.
I'm not trying to get hurt.
Okay. Now, here's the punchline to my argument. Seattle's offense will be, I think, significantly better than it was last year. Percy Harvin is back, and I think he will stay back this time, and he is my pick for Comeback Player of the Year.
Okay.
And Russell Wilson through the preseason, I'm going to say it one last time, he's special. He's playing at a Peyton-esque level with almost completing 80% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he ran for 3 touchdowns in the preseason. So now we're back to, can Green Bay stop Russell Wilson? That unit ranked tied for 24th in points allowed last year. And you're here to tell me that Julius Peppers is going to change life in Green Bay at age 34? I don't think so. Are you here to tell me that their first-round pick, Clinton Dix, is going to change secondary life in Green Bay? I don't think, not yet, not tonight. So now we all know, as we heard, that rookie Corey Linsley will have to start at center, protecting A-Rod's front side.
Right.
And that offensive line's a little patchwork for Green Bay right now. So I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to go down 8 times in the first half the way he did in 2012. But I think he's in for a long, rough night. I think A-Rod will feel like he's C or D-Rod by the end of the night.
Oh, boy.
Because it's going to be a rough one. And I think you know it. I think you feel it. You said 5.5-point favorites. I think Seattle wins going away, 31-13.
There is no doubt about it that Green Bay has its work cut out for them. But if there's anybody that can handle it, is the bad man that he is, and Aaron Rodgers, who I believe to be the best quarterback in football. He's just simply that gifted. Clearly the most gifted quarterback in football. Nobody's going to deny that outside of the person sitting across from me who remains nameless. In the end, what it comes down to is simply this. What it comes down to is this. It is, I will acknowledge to you that game 1 is not indicative of how this entire season will go for Green Bay, but I don't see them winning tonight either. I don't see them getting blown out, however. I do consider it to be a dogfight, but I'm more along the lines
You're saying dogfight?
I'm more along the lines of 27-20. I'm thinking Seattle's going to score 27. I think they could put up 27 points. I'm incredibly impressed with what I'm seeing from Russell Wilson. You got Doug Baldwin. You got Percy Harvin. We saw Percy Harvin the minimal amount of games that he played last year. We saw what he did in the Super Bowl. He makes a difference on special teams. He makes a difference when he touches the ball because of his speed. You drafted a rookie in Paul Richardson who is considered to have, Percy Harvin type speed. Okay? Yep. So when I look at it from that perspective, and then I see dude in beast mode named Marshawn Lynch, I'm just saying to myself, I expect the defense to be who they are, but I also expect Seattle's defense to be better. Here's why I think it's still going to be closer than what you give it credit for, however. I do believe that Clinton Dix will make a difference because they got nothing from the free safety position in Green Bay last year. It was atrocious. That's why he was picked 21st overall. You got to expect that Clay Matthews and those boys are going to be ready to some degree. Their defense over the last couple of years have been relatively awful, yet and still Green Bay has been in every game. Why? because of the bad man himself, Aaron Rodgers. Then when you combine that with the fact that even though your offensive line is suspect, and I do have my concerns, it was suspect last year, it was suspect the year before that, and you didn't have a running game. Now you have a running game in Eddie Lacy, okay? You also still have James Starks. What I love about Eddie Lacy, Skip Bayless, is something I haven't heard you nor anybody else bring up, and that is this. Usually when you see an elite running back in this game, they don't have an elite quarterback. You look at LaShawn McCoy was an aberration because Nick Foles really played well last year, but that was clearly an aberration. When you look at AP, I ponder what he had to work with, and I don't need to go any further than that. You look at some of the other elite runners in there, Jamal Charles in Kansas City. Yeah, Alex Smith showed up last year, played relatively well, but we all looked at him as a game manager. You just rarely see a team that has a top 5 running back with a top 3
how do you explain
quarterback.
that?
With a top 3 quarterback. I can't explain it, but I will tell you this. Eddie Lacy, based on his talent, there are people that looked at him and felt that he was, before the draft, that he was a better talent than Mark Ingram or Trent Richardson out of Alabama, and he proved that last year. You remember, we got a concussion the first game, the first play of this, a week 2 against Washington. It wasn't the same sense, still rushed for over 1,000 yards. He's healthy now, unless he gets a concussion tonight, which is possible. We know that against the Legion of Boom. I'm going to assume that's not going to happen. I expect Eddie Lacy to make some noise. The combination of Eddie Lacy, knowing that Aaron Rodgers, knowing that he's got an Eddie Lacy with the Starks behind him, okay? Plus, you've got Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb. Jordy Nelson, new contract. Randall Cobb playing for one. I like their chances to make this very interesting. I still think they're going to lose because I think too much is up against them, but I do not believe it's going to be a 31-13 blowout. I think it's going to come down to a play or two in the fourth quarter. In the end, the Legion of Boom will respond. They will hold down the fort, and they will save week 1, the opening of the NFL season for the Seahawks. The Seahawks will win tonight 27-20.